little bit of a sad thing. Um, we got a couple more topics to get through. One is kind of sad, and I did want to memorialize somebody this week, and that's something we'll be doing from time to time as artists and other prominent people pass away. We will definitely be talking about those people in kind of a tribute way. But Duane Eddy has passed away. First thing I want to know before we delve into who Duane Eddy was, how familiar were you with Duane Eddy prior to hearing about his passing?
Knew like who he was and that, back from like the 50s, 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Knew of and who he was, but not like, I know every single one of his songs and all that kind of thing.
So, if you're wondering who Duane Eddy was, I will build upon what Katie just said. Katie's a guitar player, so you should know more about Duane Eddy than you do. You are a guitar player. Get that shit out of here. Okay, so Duane Eddy, who is most known for breaking new ground in pop music. I say pop music because rock and roll didn't exist yet when he was around.
Yep.
Imagine that. In pop music in the 50s, with a reverberant staccato style of guitar playing that became known as twang. So, if you've ever heard of the term twang guitar, Duane Eddy is the man that created that sound. Okay, you will hear it from the Rolling Stones. You will hear it from Bruce Springsteen, the Beatles, a
Jimi
bunch of other people,
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. They were all influenced by this one man. I find it incredibly interesting that the reason why he created this style of twang guitar was because he did not like his singing voice.
Hey, I mean, musicians do some weird things to compensate. But hey, this worked out though.
Mm-hmm.
Some
For
really
him,
cool came out of
absolutely.
it. Yep.
So he passed away Tuesday. Well, this was written on May 1st, so it would have been the end of April. He was 86 years old, lived a great life. Again, it was cancer, so too much cancer going around.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hate cancer. It's just taking too
I
many
did
of
too.
us. But man, I'll tell you what, when musicians pass away, it's always interesting to. This is what I find fun about social media. Really, is just watching so many people in real time, people of consequence, celebrities, that are able to almost make like a press announcement on their own social media when somebody passes away. It's always so cool to see who was influenced by somebody else, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool like once you start like knowing what those influences are and you really stop and listen to their music, you can hear it. And it's just a really cool like domino effect.
It really is. It really is. And it's like I said, in the late 50s and early 60s, he incorporated that twang style of guitar, and then so many other artists heard this. It was revolutionary. Started putting it in their own music, and now all of a sudden, we no longer have pop music. Now
We
we
have
have
rock.
rock and roll. That's right. Duane Eddy, I'm here to tell you, is one of the most prominent figures in the creation of rock and roll. The man does not get near enough credit
Yep.
in the creation of rock, specifically rockabilly. Duane Eddy was a huge influence in rockabilly, which obviously created stars like Elvis and Johnny Cash and um, so many others, Chuck Berry,
Hmm.
and what, one of the things that I was reading on Duane Eddy, he was actually married to Jessie Coulter.
Really?
Yeah, I had no
I didn't know
idea.
that.
So yes, he was married to Jessie Coulter obviously prior to her remarrying Waylon Jennings later.
Yeah.
And so she was married to Duane Eddy from 62 to 68. And then this is what is so great about music. He actually he actually worked on a project with Waylon later when Waylon was married to his ex-wife.
Mm.
It's so great. Oh man, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, good for them for being adults.
Well, it's all about the money.
Oh yeah,
It's all about the
we can
money.
put that aside for the money.
That's right. That's right. We have to.
Yeah.
So cool thing about Duane Eddy is he's not only a rock and roll Hall of Famer, um, but what was the other thing? I want to say he's in the Musicians Hall of Fame too, which is huge.
Yeah.
That's even I think that's even bigger than the Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Hall of
I,
Fame.
I, absolutely.